I'm Dennis and this is Dana Busby, and we welcome you to the Sunset and Boulder Railroad. This is a takeoff of the Colorado and Southern route that ran from Boulder to Sunset, Colorado to handle the silver mining back in the 30s and 40s. The layout itself is mostly LGB. It is track powered with the multi-train system. So I can run 4 trains fairly easily simultaneously. Have a little over 400 feet of track with about 24 switch outs, and lots of tunnels, lots of bridges, and it's fun to watch the trains as they interact with each other, going under and over each other. So because of the rather warm summers we have natural plants, but we have an underground irrigation system to them all. Okay. I keep it trimmed, she keeps it green. And being track power, it takes a lot of cleaning to keep it operational. I picked up a Garden Railways magazine back in around 2000 and saw a layout, probably mid-2000 that I really liked. It was their cover story. And I thought that looks like something that would be fun to build. This was a new house and we really had nothing in the backyard, and we had no plan for a pool or a hot tub. So we thought we had the ideal location where it backs up to a natural wash. And started designing it in 2001. Started building the railroad in the fall of 2002, and we had the back portion done spring of 2004. Then we added in the addition with the mine, or with the sawmill, that area in 2005, and then I did some reconfiguration on the north end in 2006. I can run the train either as 2 separate loops, which I'll do for shows, because that gives much more activity with 4 trains going, or I can run it as a continuous loop when I'm messing around with it. I did most of it. We had some help with some of the neighbors. A young fellow across the street was just getting out of high school, so I would pay him to help me on weekends. But it was mostly Dana and I. Behind all the walls are concrete blocks, all put in with rebar and concrete. So there is a considerable amount of labor involved.
To get land acquisition is what we call it. In fact, I lost one of my biggest trees to land acquisition. I went away for a few days, and when I came back, one fell down over there. And that's where that new loop is. So, but no, as far as building it, that seemed like a good idea, something to do with the flat backyard.
Yeah, we've done two years worth of Christmas open houses. Last year we had over 2,000 people through in the 6 nights. So
2 spring ones.
And this will be our 2nd spring open house. So we get a lot of help from the local small publications. They'll print it because it gives us some filler space, and they enjoy covering it for us. And as this open house is, we make money for Make-A-Wish, so we ask for donations. We're part of the Arizona Big Train Operators. The ABTO Club takes care of other railroads, such as the Phoenix Children's Hospital. We have a large modular group that go to shows. So it's a great club. There's probably 70 to 80 members. I would imagine over half have their own layouts. Yeah, the 2008 convention, I think, which will be held in Chandler. And we are going to be part of the open house group. The layout's really not going to change much as from what we see it today. There'll be far more detailing involved to get ready for it. But we're looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great show and show off some of the layouts here in Arizona.
Hi, we're Jack and Dorothy Johnson in Chandler, Arizona, and we have a garden railroad that we have set up. We had it at our other house in 1999 is when we started, and then when we moved to this house, Jack enlarged it and we've made it into what you see today. The name of our railroad is, of course, called the Johnsonville Railroad Line.
We have a layout here that it comprises of 2 figure-eights, and it's got about 400 foot of track that winds through the city and through the housing area and through a tunnel, around the waterfalls. We have a mining area that is going to have the ore cars come up out of it, and got the derrick that people go down in, and we just enjoy running the railroad and taking care of all the little things that you have go wrong and stuff like that. And
this is Jack's creation, mostly. He's the one who dreams up all the different little vignettes, and then has done most of the buildings. And I'm mostly the enjoyer. I love to watch him create what he's put together, and then to see it put into the railroad.
I like to do the construction of the buildings. make my own light posts. At night, everything's lit up. It really looks nice at night with the train lights on and the street lights, and all the buildings are lit up, and it just makes it a nice evening scene. And even when it gets dark, you can walk out there and there's enough light just to be able to see and enjoy everything. Okay, I first started with a shed that I was putting my garden stuff in and stuff for the railroad, and we decided that as we went along that we needed to have a train depot. And so what we did is help the shed out by putting a ticket booth and the windows in and making it look like a railroad depot. And that houses our transformers and cars, and as you can see, the train runs into it and is stored there in inclement weather.
We have also enjoyed adding plants, and we have some trees that are artificial trees, plus there are some real trees in our layout. And this time of year we're able to have a lot of blooming plants, and so it makes it more exciting and vivid in color.
We wanted to have a waterfalls in our railroad, so we had a professional come in and design it and lay it out for us and did a nice job on it, and we just enjoy the noise of the water as it falls. And with the fish in there, they don't get fed, but they feed on what's in the water. So we got interested in trains from a friend that moved down here from Montana, and we're from Montana, and we just happened to be up to Payson, and at Christmas time looking through the stores there and found a starter set. That's how we started in 1999, and from there we just expanded to more cars and more engines, and you see what we got today. That's how we got started.
My name is Pius, or most people call me PJ. I'm born and raised in Switzerland, and growing up I saw all these trains running around, and that made me decide to go for Swiss trains. And you're going to see in my layout mostly I'm going to have Swiss engines and rolling stock. My layout is now about one and a half years old. I moved in this house about 2 years ago. Takes a while to set up something, you know, there's a lot of problems to overcome. I use a Digitrax control system, so all the engines are equipped with encoders. So that means I can control everything sitting on my table having a coffee. The layout, I measured it, has today roughly about 400 foot. I used to have also a section where I had an incline with a gear in it. So since I have 3 of those engines too, I couldn't realize that here in this layout at the moment, but it's still one of my plans. I still think about how to realize it, but so far not a great idea. The layout mainly, I started because I have 2 boys, and I thought that father and sons should do stuff together, and trains are a great thing to do so. Most of my engines are LGB. There is 1 or 2 exceptions. I think the But other than that, everything is LGB. They're very reliable, and for me, since I use them, they maybe are not the most detailed engines, but when you play with them, and this is the idea for me, they are just the best thing to have. I think as of today I have pretty much every engine I like. There is one exception, this is the new 5-axle steam engine, a German engine I would like to have, but I still have to wait a bit to save up for it. Other than that, I pretty much have everything I like to have in my collection. When we set it up, the layout, usually it's together with my boys. It's not that much fun to just sit out here by yourself and play with it. So I also have some neighbors' kids who come over the wall there or from other houses, and then sometimes I have up to 10 kids in this yard and when we do the layout, and that's fun to see how much they enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Randy Durr. This is our family's garden railroad. There's 4 of us, myself, my wife Lisa, my boys Jonathan and Eric, and this has been kind of a fun family project for us. You're seeing a work in progress. We still have a long ways to go with this, as you can see, but it's been exciting for us in the past few weeks as we've gotten the trains running and we've gotten things moving with it. We're doing something a little different I haven't seen before, where we're actually going to have the railroad run around this flagstone patio that we had built on our house. And there's a couple spots, we're going to see how well this works, where we're actually going to be crossing the railroad track as traffic comes in and out of it. So far it seems to be working pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well this works out. We have one basic loop of track with a small cutoff in the middle. You've seen the pond water feature, which is a critical piece of the whole thing. And we like the idea that we have over on the side of the S-turns and the bridges that go across the wash. That was kind of one of the original features when we sketched the thing out with it, and we've been able to keep that as it all comes together. It's pretty much just how we envisioned it. We work with a landscape architect to get some ideas, but most of it's really things that we wanted to see as we put into it. We do have room for expansion, and as this works out and we get this finished, we can continue to go further towards the corner of the lot and then even back towards the pool area. We could end up with a couple hundred feet of track as that goes through, and a lot of room for expansion with it. But for right now, this is what we're working on and what we're trying to get finished up. And I think in another year it's going to look very much different than this.